Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we can't do any yarn talks without my faithful mug of tea, which today is a yerba mate tea. So it's like a yerba mate blend that contains a flavor of sinus apple, that's a Dutch word for orange, and mango. The downside, of course, is that they actually stopped producing this flavor, so I'm a bit sad and I'm trying to just enjoy the last few good moments with this tea. But we are here to talk about yarn, and if you're a person that really likes yarny content videos, regardless if you do crochet or knit, even though we mainly talk crochet on this channel and yarn in general, then don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done already. So yeah, that's that, and hit the little bell so that you get notified whenever I do post new videos, regardless if these are being yarn talks, giveaways, tutorials, and much more. So today you can see that I'm actually wearing one of my items that I finished last fall, which is the happiness poncho. And just for those that might want to get an idea of how this one looks in full, this is the item. It's a really good weather for it today because it's outside. It's sunny, then it's rainy, it's windy. Almost a bit like fall weather, but it does give a little bit of a cooler feeling of the temperature here indoor. So I like to wear it to kind of give this extra little bit of warmth to my clothing. And I am generally a person that generally feels colder quicker than most. But what's about this one is that I actually made a tutorial for it, which I am delayed posting, do various stuff, but I actually do hope that I have this video edited up soon. And if everything goes well, I might be able to post it later this week. So let's cross fingers for that. Stay tuned. I also have a yarn giveaway coming up on Thursday. So stay tuned for this amazing rose yarn colored giveaway that's coming up that will contain a combination of acrylic and cotton yarns. So yeah, stay tuned for that as well, which is another very good reason to subscribe so that you don't miss out on it. So on my current projects that I have going on, I have mainly focused on my socks, to be honest, because I really want to get them finished up. And so far on the second sock, I have reached the stage where I now need to chain, I think it's chain 35, to actually start work on the heel, which then will be like you add a chain, you skip all the nice pattern here on top, and you join it here over, and you make just single crochets where you slowly decrease to kind of form the heel towards down here. Once you're done with the heel, you will cut the yarn, so in that end, and you will re-add it to here, and you will start working on the actual leg of the foot. So I would say I'm about half-ish complete with the second sock, and once it's complete, it should hopefully look like this. So the downside, of course, is that it looks right now like this sock is a size too big for me, which is kind of sad, but it's what you get when you, I guess, don't make a swatch and it's your first attempt and stuff like that. So in one way, I'm sad that it probably might not fit, but at the same time, it's a really good learning experience for me, so I do still appreciate the progress I've been through. And I'm still, in that sense, pretty satisfied with the result. I'm trying to see if I can actually compare it somehow so you can better see. So it's not completely, of course, but you get the idea of what needs to happen to the sock here. So I have been thinking, what will I do? And I've had several suggestions on that the sock might shrink a little bit in size by washing. And it could be it takes 2 or 3 washes until it's the right size. It could also be it doesn't shrink at all. The fact is just that the sock is probably about a centimeter-ish too long for my foot, and that's even when I'm wearing a cotton sock underneath, which I'm likely going to do regardless because that's just the type of person I am. And if it still remains too big, like a size too big, I've been thinking what I'm gonna do. And I actually talked with my mother, and she happens to be exactly 1 shoe size larger than mine. So if she fits it and wants a pair, I might actually donate it to her. She knows this because we actually talked about it yesterday via phone call, so I hope, of course, she's doing well. The yarn I'm using for these socks is, again, I work from the outside of the skein because I hate yarn bath and I tend to always get it. Is this lovely Mayflower yarn, which is the first class. So this is a label from it. And it's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. This is the colorway 4, which is the one known as Regatta Blue. And each of these skeins come with 50 grams in them, which gives about 210 lovely meters of yarn. And they recommend knitting needles of 2.5 to 3 millimeters. The crochet pattern that I had, I think, was 2 millimeters recommended, or 2.5, I don't even remember. But I have that pattern also linked in the description box down below, including the yarn haul video from when I picked up this yarn. But I am using my 3 millimeter prim hook for crocheting these socks. And I have to say, I absolutely love how this hook works with this yarn. When I've tried regular tapered hooks with it, even metal hooks, I have the feeling the yarn splits more often than when I use the prim hook here, which is an inline hook, which you can see nicely that the hook is lovely in the line with the shaft of the hook. Somehow I just get less split tendency, and it works out really, really smooth and nicely. The only thing I might, as opposed to do differently with this hook, would be to decrease this length a little bit, because I don't have very long fingers, so sometimes it feels like it's a bit far. But that's minor details. I believe they are more friendly if you have a bit longer fingers. That's maybe a more ideal hook then. I had some hook suggestions, so I'm absolutely going to look into those as well. We can never have enough hooks, or at least test more hooks. So that was the sock that I'm currently working on. The same hook I'm actually using for another wool project, because the prim hooks are mainly used or mainly produced. They are known as good crochet hooks for woolly projects. And the other I'm working on is the Zig-Zag scarf, which again I will link to a description on how to down below. And the only difference that is between my scarf and the scarf in the description box is that I increased it by a single wave, so it's a little bit wider. And the reason I did that is because the yarn I'm using is a little bit finer than the one they recommend for the pattern, or the one the pattern originally is made from. But it's not really that important, because you just need to find the right hook for your yarn. And then, of course, basically just work on it. So this is the length we have gotten so far. And it is a gradient yarn, even though you cannot see it very clearly. But I'm going to see if it's even going to be visible a little bit to the camera. Maybe a little bit. You can see it's slowly gradient, but it's very difficult to see or to catch without the right lighting. Like if I look at them, I can see that this one is lighter than this one. Yeah, maybe it's visible, but it's very slow gradient. And you can also see that I'm going to show you the cake here. You can actually see if I can get the right, this is a better lighting. I need to get some better lights, don't I? But you can see how it really slowly gradients out to a more full blue, azure blue cake. And yeah, I'm really pleased. It's going well. So far, I've set the minimum of crocheting at least 2 rows a day. Some days I do more, it kind of depends. And some days, yeah, so I'm on average at least crocheting 2 rows, usually a little bit more. So it will be a long-term ongoing project. The cake I'm using is this Alice Angora Gold Ombre Batik. And it's a really beautiful ombre effect it has. I have to say it's probably one of the neatest, most flowing ombre effects I've seen in a yarn for a very long time. And the cake is only 150 grams. For those 150 grams, you get 825 meters of yarn. So it's a very lightweight, long, thin thread, which is of course also a fine, almost like a lace weight thread. And they actually recommend crochet hook size to 2 to 4 millimeters. And it is 80% acrylics and 20% wool, and it can be washed at 30 degrees. You can even iron it, even though I'm not really sure if I would personally see. And yeah, I would probably just say leave flat to dry though. And yeah, I'm looking for it. It's progressing nice and slowly, but I'm looking for this to being more than just, right now it's more like a square size-wise. But I'm looking for this to be more like a scarf, because that's going to be the end result. I am just crocheting back and forth here until I have no more yarn left. And basically what I'm doing is that when I start on a new row, I chain 3 and then I flip the work around. So I work from that direction, obviously. And when I flip the work around, then I insert a double crochet in the first stitch, which is also basically the same as saying if you say the chain 3 is counting as a crochet stitch, you would have like kind of 2 stitches in the first stitch. Then I make 3 double crochets. Then I crochet 3 double crochets together into one. I make 3 double crochets. I insert 3 double crochets in one stitch. 3 double crochets, crochet 3 together, 3 double crochets, crochet 3 in one stitch, etc. until the very, very end. So I keep alternating, and until the very end, I insert in the very last stitch also 2 double crochets. And then basically it's time to chain 3 again and turn the work. So it's I would say almost one of those a bit more mindless projects that you can easily do when you watch TV if it's not too dark, because the yarn is pretty thin. And that's also one of the reasons that I cannot do it for longer periods of time, simply because the thin yarns, yeah, they challenge my fingers a bit. But it's still doable, and it's not like it's painful, but I just need to rest more often than compared to when I work with the thicker yarns. But I think I'm not the only person having this. But yeah, that's about that. The last project that I am currently working on is my new baby blanket, and I've only made about a round or so since last time. But that's because I focused on the socks. I also have other aspects in life. But yeah, so this this baby blanket is made in a very lovely shell stitch pattern. So it's a rectangle square. Once it's done, I will probably need to do some blocking. It's a really nice and soft acrylic it's made from. It's 100% acrylic yarn. And you may be able to see, depending on how I flip it. Yeah, it's there. There is a little bit of a sparkle or a reflective thread in this. And this would be the yarn skein that I'm working is. And here you can easier see those lovely spectacle switches in this yarn. I have a few skeins of this yarn, and the outer border or some of the outer edge I plan to make in this lovely baby baby pink. It's pink, right? Baby pink. And it's one of the ice yarns. There is not really an explanation as to what brand of yarn this is. I can tell you it's a sail plain, which is the number 55560. They came with 2 white skeins and 1 pink skein, baby pink, or rose maybe. in one pack. I have two packs of them, and I'm about halfway through the first skein, and that's what I have this from. I'm not sure how big I will make this one yet, but again, it's one of these projects I make when I need a break for the thinner yarn projects, though I do believe that I will still focus on getting this one finished. And my goal, of course, is to have it finished until next week, Monday. That will be absolutely amazing, because that also means that I can slowly think about new projects. I do have a few projects up my sleeve that I want to do. But first off, of course, I'm going to have to wrap up the edition of this tutorial for this absolutely lovely poncho, which is made in the hobby twister yarns. But more about that in that tutorial video, unless of course you have watched my yarn talk videos that tells a bit more about the process, but that's back from last autumn. I really hope to have that video launched sometime this week, crossing fingers, but of course we also have other specs I need to work for and get done. Private lives also requires stuff from me. Next to that, I also have the, what is it called? The very short tutorial, which I also have wrapped up, and I'm slowly also going to finish that last editing bits of that one. And that's also going to be a release sometime this March. The pictures I got taken of both looks really great, and I'm really looking forward to show it to you guys. Therefore, I think that's about wrapping up everything that's happened since last week. So you have a full yarn talk, yarn update video here. I have plenty of more things to come, including, of course, as I mentioned earlier in this video, a giveaway which will be posted on a Thursday, and that will be Thursday morning my time. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do please subscribe so that you don't miss out on that giveaway. And the giveaway will contain some yarns from Ice. It will contain some yarns from Alice and May. It's a really nice and neat giveaway, if I have to say so, at least myself. And of course, the parcel or the winner from last week's giveaway, I've already shipped that. I shipped that this weekend, and I'm hoping that it will arrive very safe to its winner. So I would like to wish everybody here a great yarn week ahead, or just in general, have a great week. Stay healthy, stay safe, have fun, enjoy, and I'm looking forward to see you in a new video later this week. Take care. Bye.